Welcome to another edition of Your Impact Attack. That's right, it's Your Impact Attack, and it's a special Thanksgiving edition of TNA Impact this past week, and I guess a special late Thanksgiving edition of the Impact Attack this week. We hope everybody at the VBC was very thankful and safe this holiday. But who is the VBC really? Like, you could be tuning in just for the first time now, and you could be saying, "What is he talking about? Who is this? What's a VBC?" Well, I think we should tell him. We think we should tell him. Let's tell him.
Tell him, Tony.
All right. Uh, it's uh, it's the V in the VBC. Hi, I'm the vet, Jamie Williams. With me, as always, my tag team partner Brandon, who I tagged through the magic of the internet, and he comes in and cleans house on all of you suckers. What's up, Brandon?
Doing well. Just did the 2 clotheslines body slam, the 3 bump of the comeback when you get tagged in.
Yep. The old lazy clothesline comeback, The only thing lazier than a clothesline comeback is like when Jeff Hardy, like when he does he just sticks the double forearms out and goes, and they just run into it and fall down, like double Polish. But anyway, yeah, we also got and we're gonna see some more. We're gonna see something even more rotten from Jeff Hardy than a double Polish comeback. But
yeah, I can't believe Joe Hendry got involved in that. But more on that later.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that later. But that's what you call like a little hook, a little tease, for what's coming up later. And the C is going to be here with us later. The C is the chat. They're here with us now. They'll be here with us later. Then, now, forever together. What's up? Who do we have with us, Brandon?
Let's see. We got Javi Uchi, huh? We got Liz. We got Lab Rat. We got Dan. We got a 4-horse people. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, that's awesome. Lab Rat's fresh off of his Survivor Series trip. I'm sure he's been telling everybody, regaling the people with the tales of his Survivor Series antics and everything for the past couple days. So that was pretty exciting. I didn't even watch Survivor Series yet still, so I don't have any idea. But did you catch any, and what did you think?
One of the dumbest things I'd ever seen in a wrestling match, or in wrestling in general, happened during the Survivor Series.
Oh, wow.
So this is the point. I think it's 4-on-4 at this point, and the baby faces have the disadvantage. So the next person out is Brock Lesnar. And the baby faces get up on the heels. They're up on the heels. So instead of continuing to beat them down and get ready for Lesnar, prepare for him, like as if this were real and you're in a real fight, hey, let's do a dance break and run and yeet and dance in the middle of the match.
A yeet break.
Which is only ended by Brock Lesnar's music hit and everybody going, oh, shit, forgot about him.
Yeah. Well, not sounding like a ringing endorsement for me to fire it up and catch up on what I missed, so yeah.
Well, and Liv Morgan came back. That's about it.
Yeah, Liv Morgan. Hey, congratulations. So there you go. Doesn't seem to be a lot of news in general. I was looking through some of these articles and I got pretty far down, and I'm just like, I'm only clicking on things if it sounds like it's something I'd be personally interested in, not necessarily news. So, there's not a lot to talk about. The only thing that I even have, and I only picked it because it's TNA related and it's kind of funny the way, we have like a theme about the reporting of these shows. But so this is the article. The title is Contract Update on TNA's Jake Something. I can't tell you, I was worried. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I'm glad that Fightful Select is going to come to our rescue and tell us, and here's what they're reporting, that this contract was originally ending in June 2026. But apparently, this outlet is revealing that he, like some other TNA stars, will see his contract expire at the end of 2025, which is right around the corner. My goodness, we have less than a month for
The best $5 a month in wrestling right there, pal. With that kind of crack reporting, those hard-hitting stories, getting you the dirt you want to hear.
now. Jake something. Look, however long we've been doing this, Jake something's like, well, I don't know what they as an organization must think of him. I don't know what he must be thinking. I'm not really. I don't know. I mean, what can we say about Jake something at this point?
Uh, he's a something dude. He's a kind of a big guy. Like he really hasn't been interesting since he was cousin Jake.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't, if this is true and he's about to run out his contract, like at the end of 2025, which is now, I couldn't recommend re-signing him for any reason because they seem to show absolutely, and that's not a knock on him necessarily, but I say that meaning like TNA as a company, whatever management they've been under, he's been under several managements, it seems like, during his run, and none of them seemed like they cared to do anything with him. So why pay him if you have absolutely no idea what to do with him?
On fire him. I'd go to MLW and see what I could do there. If there's a spot for me there. And try to get noticed there.
And he spent so long like establishing, and I say establishing only because I don't know what other word to use because it's not really that established in one sense. But his whole identity has been tied to this gimmick name of his. Like, which, you know, most people, obviously most people don't know who he is. So anybody that sees him is going to wonder why the hell he's called that. But if he changes it, then he has even less of an identity somehow. Because you're not getting a fresh start. You're just the guy that used to be called Jake something. So you're kind of stuck there too. Like if you even have the rights to that name, if you could even take that name with you somewhere, it's not worth anything, but also changing it's not going to help. So this is a really weird position that I can't really think of any situation. Like, can you think of a similar unique situation in regards to like somebody's identity like this?
Yeah, that's tough because it seems like this is pretty much a self-inflicted backing yourself in a corner you can't get out of.
We have to assume because even the whole storyline of him keeping the name and everything there's no guarantee it was his idea. He could have just had to go along with what he's been told this whole time.
Yeah, so who really knows? I mean, we're not, none of us are privy to that information. We just speculation at this point.
Right. I'm making more out of Jake something than TNA has in the past year. Just on this, just because I know we don't have much to talk about on the show, and I'm trying to just get a little bit of content. We could do this. We could probably have finished this in 20 minutes.
Hey, it's something.
Yeah, it's something. So I'm doing more to try to make Jake something relevant that anybody else is. Yeah.
Be what it be. It's something.
Now, something it's something. It's literally something. It's it's figuratively nothing. So, as Liz is saying in the chat, that if this is true, that Joe Doring has another brain tumor.
That, from my understanding, that is true. Yeah, it's that sucks. Let me go pull it up real quick and just to see if I can.
Yeah, that's what. See, that's what I was gonna say. Is like if I'm looking at the news and they're not reporting this, and some of the other shit that they've got on here that they're reporting, that's borderline disrespectful as well as incompetent. I mean,
yeah, not. It's being reported in a few places, but none of the other major places are reporting it. But nobody's refuting it either.
yeah. Well, I didn't even know that. I wasn't even aware of any follow up on what happened with the first. You know, like when he first had to leave wrestling, I don't even know if I heard anything about him after that. This would be the next thing I'm hearing. So, nobody's reporting on Joe Doring, apparently. It's not a good,
Yeah, not a good look.
There's plenty of stuff that people just do not need to. I'll give you an example. If I run down some of the headlines here, this is the kind of stuff. Trish Stratus reveals kind gesture made by WWE rival during difficult time. I'm not even going to bother to click that. Bully Ray explains why he finds it hard to criticize WWE's current creative direction.
Maybe some of them giving a little money on the table. Probably, I don't know. You're trying to get staying good with them. I don't know. It might have a little something to do with it.
I'd be shocked if that's what he said. You know, I like what you did there though with money under the table though. That was funny. Yeah. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins.
Allegedly.
Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins share conflicted thoughts on WWE Unreal. You know, these are all things that are like more newsworthy than a wrestler that has a brain tumor. Lash Legend details call up to WWE's main roster. Okay, what are the details? I'm clicking it.
Hey, you're ready. Right. Okay, cool.
That's literally what it says. Quote, I got a notification that I was needed for SmackDown. I'm like, okay, cool. You nailed it. You didn't even try. I've been to SmackDown a few times here and there, but once I officially got there, they were like, yes, we officially want you on the main roster. And I was like, yes, I was so happy, so grateful. And I'm like, let's go. We've been going since I started. Well, no offense to Lash Legend, but hell of a detail job, I guess. Yeah. That's more important.
That sounds like something you could have put in a chat GPT. Hey, creative a story I could put out about Lash Legend getting called up to the main roster. And that's something that would have spit out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, those are the kind of things that we're talking about. But for Joe Doring, like, well, I'm pulling for you, man. You know, I don't know what else to say. So.
Oh wait, no. Actually, I apologize. Figure 4, or Wrestling Observer / Figure 4 did actually report on this, so I apologize.
Well, I guess we better start getting our news from them. Brian Alvarez.
Well, for something like this, it's a story like this. I'm pretty sure is Actually, no. Shit. So we've seen worse. We've seen shit like this before in the wrestling get falsely reported. My bad. Sorry, I kind of spoke too soon there.
I don't know if that's why though. I would only think that it's just because they don't think it's like as many people as going to click that. I don't even, because like you said, it's never stopped them from making mistakes before. So I don't think that's the reason why. I think it's probably because they just don't think Joe Doring is news.
It doesn't get clicks, pal.
No. Which it shouldn't have to. Reporting's reporting. If you have a website, all this other bullshit that you think is going to get you clicks is getting you clicks. That's where the clicks are. And if you have a real news item, you got to report that too. And the clicks will come from somewhere else if people don't want to see that news item. That's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting angry about something I don't even know is true or not. So, and I'm not talking about the Joe Doring story. I'm talking about the idea that people are passing over him for more click worthy news. I shouldn't get myself worked up over a hypothetical situation, but
well, let's do something positive to kind of do that. See, I'm gonna pull out this window here. This is the actual GoFundMe for Joe Doring's GoFundMe fundraiser. Hang on here. Try to get this right.
I hope this doesn't, I don't know if this can compare to I don't know if this can compare to oh, see, they're only asking $6,500. They're almost there.
Yeah, and Canadian too.
And Canadian? Shit. I could make that up right now. How funny would that be if I just do that on the air and give them like $500? So yeah. I don't know if that's gonna be worthy of, Ridge Holland's unimaginable hardships, as was quoted on his. Oh man, I don't know if you saw, but when we were talking about that on the next level, and Ray pulled that up, like I immediately cut a promo on Rich Holland, even though I know that he supposedly said he didn't know about the GoFundMe, but the way they wrote it up, the way his mom or whoever wrote it up was like unimaginable hardship. Getting fired because you opened your dumbass mouth, like getting cut a week early from your contract because you couldn't shut the fuck up for one more week. Like that's unimaginable hardship. All the money you made just being hurt and developmental, unimaginable hardship. I can imagine it. I can definitely imagine it. So if anybody wants to help Joe Doring make up the rest of that, doesn't seem like they're asking for a lot. But yeah. But other than that, I don't really have any other news. So what do you guys want to talk about?
Let's talk about Impact, pal. This Frankenstein of a show.
Yeah, I'm surprised this show didn't have literal Frankenstein. They used to have a Frankenstein on Impact, and then they
We had Krampus.
did have we had that. Yeah, well, we'll just have to get right into it with no Chris Winland question or anything else. We'll just have to get right into it, and let's get everybody back to yeah. Oh, that's what we didn't have. There was no ketchup this week. You don't really use ketchup at Thanksgiving anyway. I don't. There's nothing that you could use ketchup on at Thanksgiving that you couldn't just pour gravy on instead, I'm sure. So we'll just go with that. But it's the Thanksgiving special of Impact. Now, the good news is usually um TNA will take this week off completely and give you like a greatest hits of Turkey Bowl matches and other bullshit from other episodes.
which we kind of sort of did, but at least
Right.
it's only once.
We got a compromise here where it's not just a clip show, but it has new content in it, but it's still taped, but you know, it's fresh content, but it's also like you said, as Frankenstein, it's stitched together with other stuff. Um I
Oh,
don't think
different.
we've really seen this before. We either get like a new episode or we get like a complete clip show. We rarely get the Frankenstein show, so it's something else they're trying, I guess.
What makes it even more Frankenstein is from the live or the in-ring stuff from multiple different tapes. And I think with one from like Minneapolis, some from El Paso.
Right. Well, we'll get into it, and you know we are going to have
Oh,
a
and sorry.
yeah.
And speaking of El Paso, it's interesting that TNA and NXT are both running in El Paso this weekend. Or I'm sorry, Texas, not El Paso. Yeah, one's in San Antonio, one's in El Paso.
I mean, it's all WWE now. TNA just they're basically WWE, so it doesn't.
Yeah, they're pretty much owned without it being on paper.
Right. So it's like that fresh pie that fell, and you had to piece it together. Yeah, and it tasted like it was off the floor too. So the first thing we get is a turkey bowl match, because we got to have that. Um, the people in this version are Ryan Ziegler, Brian Myers, Mance Warner, Eric Young, Hometown Man, and Trey Miguel. So
I will say you could find a worse like a lineup to put together for this match, and the right guy lost this one.
yeah. Well, yeah. So Ryan Ziegler gets pinned by Myers, and of course, like everybody else, he tries to escape wearing this turkey suit. It's the same thing that they've been using since 2000 and whatever. This little sort of a turkey hat with the face cut out and the little neck that goes down to the skirt. And if you've seen one of these, you've seen them all. The heel loses, doesn't want to do it, is forced to do it, sells it like death. Like when Ryan Ziegler realizes he tries to run, then they kick his ass and put him in the suit, of course. And then when which they have no, they have no personal stake in this. Like, guys like Trey Miguel, it's like, what do they care? But anyways, they're doing it because that's the spot. So when he finally realizes he's wearing the turkey suit, yeah, he gets down on his knees and starts crying to the heavens, like,
"Why me? Why me? Goldberg! Goldberg! Goldberg!"
Yeah, yeah, as if his car was crushed flat with a steamroller. Yeah, yeah. It could be career death. It wouldn't be as career death as, say, like going into business for yourself and talking shit about CM Punk on Twitter, which is why you're in TNA in the first fucking place. It wasn't career death like that, but it's not whatever. Well, they definitely get their mileage out of this. We get a vignette from the Elegance brand. They're still searching for Mr. Elegance, so don't worry, they haven't dropped that shit yet. We got that going on. Now, as for an older match, to give you any idea, this was this tag team match was still when Trick Williams was the champion. So it's at least it's at least a few weeks old. So it's Ali and Trick versus Santana, Mike Santana, and Leon Slater, and it just ends up as a schmoz DQ. They take one of the Secret Service guys, put him through a table, just to make the people happy, I guess.
How
I didn't write down when this was or whatever, or where it was, but it's just like here we recorded this, so I guess they knew it would be Thanksgiving eventually, and they were going to need a match, so they put this one in the can. What do you think of the idea of taking a guy like you could just show these matches and not really put over like that, well, this is from a while ago or anything. You could actually technically you could present them all as new the right way, but what do you think of just having them just be like, yeah, go back in time to when Trick Williams was the champion and have this match? Like, how do you think that makes the presentation of the show?
Cheap and low rent.
Does it? Okay.
I mean, even WCW back in the day, like when they were doing like months of worth of tapings, they figured in the title changes in the pay-per-views into the tapings.
Yeah.
Like, remember when when Sid was supposed to win the world title and they taped him with the belt but he hadn't won it yet on the pay-per-view, and then they had to but then the incident with him and Arn, and they let him getting fired before the actual title change could take place.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what can you do? I'll tell you what you could do. You can put you can put Turkey Ryan Nemeth. Okay? Turkey Ryan Nemeth, Ryan Ziegler versus Krampus. That's the thing you can do. That's what you can actually do. Want to talk about low rent?
See, like the one thing they tried to do creatively was like, okay, so Ryan Nemeth lost a turkey bowl, so he's embracing the holiday Thanksgiving spirit and has to go against Krampus. Stupid.
Yeah. Now, did they ever? This wouldn't even be the last time we'd see Ryan in the turkey suit. Did they ever establish that he's supposed to wear this for a period of time?
I don't think they did. No, that was never really like clarified.
Okay, I'm just making sure because there was some interstitials with Tom Hannafin throughout this thing that I completely ignored whatever he was saying because I don't care and I didn't think it mattered. So like while it was on, I was just not listening to it and watching whatever other YouTube video I was to try to entertain me, at the same time. So I don't know if he actually explained why, as much as this guy seemed like it was sulfuric acid on his skin to wear this turkey suit, why he just kept it on for like the length of 3 matches. But anyway, he has this match with Krampus, which I assume is the real Krampus, the real, Christmas, whatever he is.
Well, during the watch long, I thought that might have been Johnny Stamboli because it's kind of reminded me a little bit of like a relic. That's killer spelled backwards,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I went back and looked it up. It turns out there's a wrestler who does the Krampus gimmick, and that was him.
Right. Well, I was saying I thought it was the shoot Krampus from The Legend, not just some wrestler doing a gimmick. You're telling me this isn't the real Krampus? It's just a wrestler? It's just a wrestling gimmick? Man. It's hard enough when you find out Santa's not real, and now... But I guess I should have known... I guess I should have known it wasn't actually the real Christmas spirit, because when he got poked in the eyes in Schoolboy, like I should have thought, like, you know, I bet the real Krampus probably could have at least kicked out of that, if not did some magic thing that would make sure it would never happen in the first place. But yeah. Yeah. So now we know if you ever come face to face with the real Krampus, you could try the Schoolboy. I don't know how effective it will be with the referees not around. But it worked. It worked here.
At least I know I can take Krampus in the. I might have a chance taking him in the confines of a wrestling match. At least I know
Right.
I might have a chance of winning that field or
Right.
that platform.
Yeah. In the event that would somehow ever, like, all the events would line up to where that would happen, you definitely have a chance. You know, because you know how many times there'll be like a home invasion, but like rather than get robbed, or rather than, you know, perhaps, you know, scare away the you know, the invader or something, you know how like there'll be like a commission that sets up a pro wrestling match to determine what happens with the home and the valuables and everything. So I'm sure it's the same thing with a Krampus. Like if he just shows up, I don't even know what the gimmick. What is What is it? Liz, can you explain what this shit? I have never once. It's apparently some German shit, right? And like this,
And
yeah,
yeah,
they made a movie several years ago.
yeah,
I really don't know.
yeah. I think the dude was Austrian
Yeah, I mean,
or is Austrian.
I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking about Shoot Krampus though. Like, is he really a, like? What is it? What is the story? Labrat says if you schoolboy, a ref will magically appear to make the count. Yeah, it's magic. It's all Christmas magic. Yeah, but I don't get this. Like in terms of like he punishes naughty children during the Christmas season. Okay. And when did this like start becoming a thing that people talked about in North America ever? Like around what year? So I never heard about this growing up. This was not, you know, we had Santa, you know, we had the Grinch. We had some, you know, a few other Christmas things, but yeah, I'm not really that familiar with this one. As long as you can schoolboy it though, I guess it's fine.
Well, once that bell rings and the rules are off, he'll kill your ass.
It's from Eastern Europe, Germany, Czech Republic, Austria, Liechtenstein, Italy. Italy. One of these things is not like the others.
Southeastern Europe.
Yeah. So
On the
Santino
on, on, the,
knows.
on the west side of that.
Santino knows Krampus then. That's all right. Well, anyway, speaking of East, Lei Yingli. She is very thankful and teary about winning the championship, so she cuts a promo subtitled in Chinese, which is interesting. Uh, and then we go to a Joe Hendry concert. There were so few people in this room that I assume this must have been like after doors had just opened for something and people were filing in. Like, I don't, it couldn't have been like a full, like during like a major event. It would have had to been like,
I think this is during the Minneapolis Impact tapings.
right. But I mean, like, you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
it's full sale. It's full sale.
was it Full Sail?
I think so, yeah.
So this must have just been like a students only thing, because there was like nobody in the room for this.
Oh yeah, dude, it was bad. It was so bad.
Um. So yeah, so Joe Hendry, he sings his own song, the Joe Hendry song. Then he brings out Jeff Hardy. Okay, so here comes Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy sits down. They and then he starts playing a song that he says is like Jeff Hardy's song, like one of his songs from his band, I guess, called Modest.
Oh yeah,
So he,
that was his original TNA theme.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, when he first debuted in '04, that was his theme.
I didn't know that he ever had themes with lyrics. I forgot. Wow. All right, well, there that is. And Jeff sang the lyrics to his song.
Awful. This was. I'll put it this way. There's a scene in Shoresy where he's like, "If only I could be so lucky. This was so bad. I'm shitting and puking at the same time."
It's I'm not going to I'm not a musician. I'm not a singer. I'm not going to comment on the quality of what they were actually doing,
But
but I think
you got two
we
ears. That's all you
we
need.
can but we can all agree that regardless, even if what they were doing was kind of good, it didn't make for good TV. It just looked like they were singing in front of no people. That's really what it is. So I don't even need to comment on the quality of what they were doing. It's the presentation of everything. Like, people are sitting here watching this on television. I mean, they're not because it's Impact, but I'm just saying, like, if people were expected to watch, they would have seen this, and then they would have been like, this is going on for a long time too. Because then after this, and I don't know how the hell they got clearance, but then they started singing "My Sacrifice" by Creed for some reason.
Like, huh? Like, okay, that's out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere, and also licensed. So, like, why are you allowed to do this? I don't know what to tell you, but this went on for a while.
Lab
Labrat
rat
says
points.
karaoke night in an empty bar. Exactly. What was this the longest thing on the show?
It might have been.
I'm pretty sure it was. It felt long, anyway.
Yeah, one of the worst wrestling segments I've ever seen on a wrestling show ever.
Well, it would have been long if they just did those 3 songs. Because, you know, that's already like over 10 minutes. With all their banter and Jeff Hardy's entrance and the actual songs they're singing. Yeah. And all that. Like, that's already over 10 minutes. But then the Zigglers come in, okay? Hit their music. And they don't want any trouble. They just want to join. They saw some people singing. They saw it was karaoke night at an empty bar, and they wanted to come in and they wanted to sing too. So they get in there and they start trying to sing. And then Joe Hendry and Jeff Hardy kick their asses. So, you know, screw you guys. I'm trying to have fun.
How to squander the momentum after your hottest period of all time.
That's right. Remember, we just said Bound for Glory records. Oh my God. It's funny. I only hear people talk about TNA. When they talk about TNA, I only hear them talk about how they've really been doing better. And that just makes me know you don't watch TNA. You're only saying what other people are saying because you hear them talking and saying that their numbers are up and their financials are up and their attendance is up and these other things. So you're saying TNA is doing good, but nobody who watches this could be happy with this product right now. You
No,
just can't.
it's been the drizzle and shits ever since Bound for Glory.
And I would argue much more before, but I think you're trying to give them a lot more credit where you feel like the credit is due. Um, I can almost assuredly chalk up any of their success to just being tangentially associated with WWE. Like it's curiosity of like, oh well, I remember TNA. Like I'll go check that out. Like this is not because their TV is so good that people are buying tickets. It's not that. It's definitely not that.
Let's just say the Impact, the Go Home Impact, they did the teaser of AJ Styles showing up at Slammiversary. That within 24 hours, that moved a lot of tickets.
Mm-hmm. Just for him to what did he do on Slammiversary? He came out and said, "Hey, Leon Slater's cool."
Yeah, Priest put over the X Division and put over Leon Slater.
Yep. Well, if you bought a ticket for that, you know, I have a bridge that I'd like to sell you. What I won't try to sell you on is the fact that we ever needed to see this thing again from the 07 Thanksgiving episode of Impact with Kurt in the Pilgrim, you know, outfit and all the people coming in to this clearly sound stage but supposed to be a house.
And they even rib on that during the show.
Yeah, they show that every time they do a Thanksgiving, they show this thing, and it's never any better. So here it was again, annual tradition.
But come on, how impressive was that one spot during the food fight where there's a turkey leg flying in the air, Kong catches it with her hand and then takes a big juicy bite out of it.
I mean, she's a great worker. I mean, what do you expect? Total pro. Anyway, the main event, such as it is First Class, being, you know, AJ and Rich Swann. Jake something, we already talked about him, and Turkey Ryan, still, versus the System and Leon Slater.
I barely even remember this match. I kind of checked out at this point. I'm okay. When is this over so I can start speaking to Lunacy?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the turkey guy got Swan 450, so he kind of had an emotional roller coaster of a weekend. First, he had to put on the turkey suit. Then he did get a win over a legendary creature, but then he lost to Leon Slater in a 8-man tag. So
I will say, when it comes to doing jobs, putting people over, and making himself look like an idiot for entertainment and getting other people over, Ryan Nemeth is extremely unselfish.
he doesn't have a choice.
That's true. Yeah, he doesn't really have a whole lot of options.
I'm sure he thinks he should be much higher on the card than he is. But no. But yeah, and that is, you know, that is your episode. That's your Thanksgiving. So we got a bit of a mixed bag. On the one hand, not a complete clip show of stuff that's nothing but the 2007 TNA Thanksgivings and Turkey Bowl matches. But the things that we saw, definitely painful. Krampus losing to a schoolboy. Joe Hendry concert. Did you think it was... Did it take you a second when Jeff Hardy was like, I think if we had a band name, it should be called Great Initials? Because
They're the same.
Yeah, I had to, yeah.
It's like maybe...
What the fuck are you talking about, you drug addict? Oh.
Yeah, it was like a second. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, Jeff Hardy, Joe Hendry, okay.
Damn it.
Well, one of my... I kind of sort of got, because one gag I like to pull out is like, when something is like fucked up or some bullshit happens, I go, that's a big pile of my initials.
I see. Well, I guess on that note, there's nothing left to say. We're done here. I don't know what we've got planned for Christmas. I don't know if we're going to get another one of these type of things. If we're going to even get anything new between now and then.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah. You said I just looked at it. And I was like, yeah, so Christmas is on Thursday. Fuck.
Ooh. Yeah. So now last year around this time, wasn't that God, I am losing such track of time. Was last year when they switched back to TNA or was it the year before that?
It was the year before. Year before.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
2023 going to 2024.
right. And then when they did that, we were talking about how they got us all excited. I say that nobody was excited, but I'm just saying.
Relative.
Right. But then they took the rest of the year off all the way until Genesis, right? And then this year, you know, they did the thing with Bound for Glory where there wasn't even holidays and they wouldn't follow it up.
Dumb. Yeah, they had that. What was it? That I think it was 2020. They had that one. I think it was Osprey and Josh Alexander, where Alexander went over.
Yeah,
or was it the year before?
I don't know. I don't remember. I forgot that ever happened. But now that you say it, it rings a bell. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'll tell you what the people need to know. The people need to know where they can find you the rest of the week. Because I'm sure that you've got a Raw to finish watching. And apart from that, I'm sure you've got a lot of other great stuff lined up to watch with the people going forward. So, what is all of that?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, well, like you mentioned, or just mentioned, we got the Raw continuation about 5-10 minutes, just 10 minutes ish after we close this up. And then tomorrow we got the late start NXT watch along as soon as the A show goes off the air. And then Wednesday we got the AEW Dynamite watch along and bell count. And then Thursday we got the Impact watch along and bell count, followed up with JCW Lunacy replay watch along. And then Friday, this is going to be a little bit rough because I'm not sure what we're doing on that. Because with us, we got deadline, because that's the same night. And I'm not sure they're gonna be doing Smack Attack that night or not. So, okay, so the plan is we'll do SmackDown watch along and bell count on Friday. If no Smack Attack, we'll then go into a Final Resolution replay watch along. And if not, we'll try to cram them into both nights on Saturday. But Saturday night, definitely we're going to be doing an NXT Deadline watch along. And then Sunday, HMG After Dark, our first Christmas movies, starting it off with Friday After Next and Ernest Saves Christmas.
All right. So you're telling me that Turning Point and Deadline are this weekend?
Yes, not Turning Point, Final Resolution. I apologize. Yeah, Final Resolution.
No, you said Final Resolution. I said Turning Point because I can't keep it together with those. All right, great. Fuck, that's not how I want to spend my weekend.
Yeah, NXT and TNA are both in Texas this weekend, and that's kind of what matters.
And the people can find you on the social media platforms as
on X at LG Brandon Whoop, and also Twitch at twitch.tv/LG Brandon Whoop Whoop. And good chance might be going live tonight. Not sure yet, but we'll see.
All right. Well, you can find me at Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms. You can find me every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern for the Next Level Wrestling Review with Big Ray Hernandez, where we talk about the NXT portion of this partnership. You can find me every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, where we talk about AEW with Jimmy T on Dad Wreckage at the Professor So check us out there. Obviously, it's a with that 3-man team, it's just nothing but fun. Check out Wrestling with Rogers every Friday, except this past Friday when there was holidays. Check out Stevie Richards' show, who doesn't take days off unless he's in the hospital with something he's done from working out too hard. And check out Limpin' Ain't Easy with Timmy Baltimore with his guest this week, Johnny Jeter. That should just about do it. So, thank you guys for tuning in with us and I'm thankful for the VBC, and for Brandon, I'm the vet, the V, and I don't have a sign off line.